Good morning, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you are having a good one, and thank you for joining me in this thing that I do called Thor's Entertainment. Today, we are going to be going into the Gunrunner side mission of Batman Arkham Knight. If you watched my playthrough of the main City of Fear storyline, then this may sound a little bit familiar to you, as we have done at least one mission for Gunrunner already as a requirement for that story. This is where we find North refrigeration vans around Gotham City, tag them, and then follow them back to their base of operations so that we can destroy weapons caches in those locations. We're not doing this alone, though. No, we are teaming up with our good old buddy Nightwing. And together we hope to get all the guns that he is running destroyed and also possibly run into the Penguin himself along the way. If you did in fact see this part during my main playthrough of City of Fear, then don't worry, I'm not really going to rehash too much here. I'm just going to continue to talk over everything going in the background until we get to the second hideout. Since, that's the only one that we for sure have not seen up to this point. For anyone who just skipped ahead to the Gunrunner side mission, don't worry, whenever we get to the critical dialogue, I will be quiet and you can enjoy the cinematics. Other than that, though, it's just going to be a lot of the same. We're going to be flying around waiting for them to go to that hideout and just trying to kill a little bit of time until they do. I've already piloted Batman through this scenario before, so everyone who's been taken out on the rooftop is going to get taken out in the exact same way again. And then once we get into the hideout, guess what? Same thing. We're going to take out everybody with that team up with Nightwing in the exact same fashion as before. And then once we are done with the inaugural portion of the Gunrunner side mission, we're going to move on to just finding those random vehicles. Until then, I will basically just be stalling for time. Luckily, I will not have to worry about needing to talk to myself for too much longer. We're making really good progress through this portion of the side mission. Plus, I have sped up the time to about 1.5 times the normal speed, so I can't imagine this is going to take much longer. I am already speeding through the rooftop takedowns, and then all that will be left is just to enter the building and then go crash the Penguin's party for the second time. Even though it's the same video, it's still the second time to me, and I'm sure I'll get just as much joy out of seeing the Penguin get a little bit embarrassed as I did the first time. Alright, we are down to the last two guys. I am just going to do a quick Fear multi-takedown to take them both down. Then we're going to run over, give the Joker a high five, go down into the building, and then finally, you don't have to listen to me talk.
What do we do about the bat?
Batman. Don't worry about Batman. He's about to become extinct.
Yeah, we lost him. He's nothing.
You see, I told you. Shh. This is gonna be great. He doesn't even know you're here. Come on. Listen up. I've got something to say. As you're aware, and this truly breaks my heart, lads, we've been working with the other freaks to take down the Bat together. I know, it's been hard. But look on the bright side. We're bloody rich.
The Arkham Knight, Barbara Gordon. Tell me where they are.
So that's who we had. The Commissioner's little girl.
I'll break every bone in your body, Cobblepot.
They were going to see some geezer called Simon Stagg. I think he runs a pharmaceutical company or something.
Do not lie to me.
I'm not, I swear. They said he's about to leave Gotham. Those airships over the West River, it belonged to him.
Put him down. We'll shoot, but
Won't do you any good. Scarecrow's gonna break you. You are going down, Batman.
Hold him steady, fellas. I've been working on my swing. Watch and learn. Gonna knock his head right out of the...
This is you handling it, right? Now don't worry, you can thank me later.
you're
And as promised, here we go, we get Nightwing. It is at this point that I realize I skipped the part where Nightwing shows up and kind of explains everything. So I guess I'll go ahead and cover that just so no one's confused, even though you probably have already seen this part by now. Anyway, back in the main story. We eventually team up with Nightwing. He shows up and explains that Penguin has been using the North Refrigeration vehicle to smuggle guns in and out of Gotham and Bloodhaven, and that he has been tracking them for quite some time. Because Nightwing has been tracking them, he decides to pitch in and help us find them throughout the city. Initially, Batman says, "Nah, I don't need your help, forget that." But then, Nightwing just says, "Screw it, I'm going to show up anyway." And of course, we just saw that part. And that sets up the entire side mission. We just continue to do the same thing over and over again. We get intel from Nightwing about where a North Refrigeration vehicle is located. We go track it down, we tag it, we follow it back around to one of these places, and then we fight along Nightwing one more time. Well, more like 5 or 6 more times. Actually, I'm not really sure how many hideouts there are, so guess I'm going to be figuring that out while editing this video. Anyway, enough about that. Let's finish up this fight and move on to the next one.
We can't let any of these weapons get onto the street. This cache needs to be destroyed.
Just like old times, huh? Me coming in at the last minute to save your ass. Bruce, you need to let me help.
I had it under control. I told you, I need you back in Bloodhaven.
No, Scarecrow, these weapons, this all affects Bloodhaven too. The best place for me is here. Look, with the amount of weapons Penguin has been running into Gotham, this cannot be everything.
He must have other caches in the city. Search this place for evidence. It should help us locate more of Penguin's refrigeration trucks.
What a wanker. Let's put him out of business, eh? Seriously? Do you believe that accent? Bet he only puts it on to sound scary. Please, what are you doing? Bat? Come on! Don't lock me in here. I'll do anything. Want your laundry done? I'll do it. Help out, Alfred. You got it. I wouldn't like to be that guy.
I'm going after Barbara.
I'll contact you as soon as I track down any of Penguin's trucks.
Thanks, Dick. I appreciate it.
What are friends for, Bruce?
Bruce, I've got a present for you. I've located one of Penguin's trucks at the rear of the movie studios.
A truck to follow. A weapons cache for us to destroy. Thanks, Nightwing.
Hey, Lenny, is that you? Oh God, it's him! The frickin' Bat! Get us out of here!
It's the Bat! He's found us! What are we gonna do? Lose him! We gotta get off the road! Okay, hold on! Will this guy ever quit? Anyone see him? I'm trying to drive here. I don't see anything. You think he's still out there? How should I know? Hey, boss, we got a problem. What is it? It's the Bat. He's following us. We'll lose him. We're trying. It ain't easy.
I don't want to hear that. If you bring him anywhere near my guns, I'll do you some serious damage. Where is he now?
I don't know. I can't see him.
Just 'cause you can't see him, don't mean he can't see you. Next time I hear from you, it better be good news.
He's gone. We actually lost him. All right, get us off the road before he comes back. Taking us back to base. Good thinking. I knew we could outrun him. He never had a chance of catching us. Told you he couldn't keep up. The Bats lost it.
Penguin is using the Sionis Industries building as a front for one of his weapons caches. I'll take point.
Age before beauty, Bruce. I'll keep my entrance understated, as always.
Considering all of the previous side missions that we have completed up to this point, we have taken down some pretty big names. That list would include Man-Bat, Azrael, and Firefly. Although as big of names as they are, if we are being completely honest, none of them are quite as recognizable or as iconic as the Penguin. The only villain that we have taken down that is even remotely close to being on his level would be Scarecrow, and that was in the main story, not a side mission. So yeah, I'm a little excited. This will be the biggest side mission takedown that we have accomplished so far.
I still owe the Bat for breaking my jaw in the iceberg. Hurry, through a straw. Anyone even...
I should drop in and pay them a visit.
He won't come here. Trust me. Yeah. Last time I trusted you, I ended up sharing a cell with the missing link.
Ah, you still bitching about that?
Yeah, damn right I am. Your stretch was like a cakewalk compared to mine.
Didn't know this was a contest. Maybe you're just sore you don't get to snuggle up to that big hunk of man no more.
Funny. Real funny.
What you gonna do with your cut of the score? Relocate. What are you talking about? Penguin needs us.
Plenty more where you came from.
Hey, what are you saying?
He's saying guys like me and you, we're a dime a dozen.
Since it has been a minute since we took down the Penguin briefly during the story mode, let's take a moment to remember what he's actually doing in this game. What role does he have in everything that's gone on tonight? Well, the Penguin was the individual who was supplying weapons to Scarecrow's men and the militia. That by itself should be good motivation to take him down, but in the story mode we went after him for a different reason. He happened to have information we needed regarding Barbara Gordon when she was still abducted. Stopping the flow of weapons ultimately took the backseat to us trying to find Barbara, but now that that's over along with the rest of the main story, we can resume going after the Penguin. It's cool he still had something of a role within this game, but that role is nowhere near as big as it was whenever he was in Arkham City, the game prior to this one. Everything we had to go through in order to stop the Penguin at Arkham City definitely warrants its own conversation. I do not believe we have enough time to cover that in this fight, so I'm going to save that for the next hideout. Until then, let's just enjoy beating a few people with Nightwing.
Nice job.
I forgot how well we work together.
I hadn't. I only work with the best.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't get any ideas, Bruce. It's not permanent. I like the new job too much, you know? The work's good, I get to decide my own hours, and best of all, there's no boss looking over my shoulder. You know, when all this is over, I should swing by the manor, say hi to Alfred. He made living with you bearable. Just. This isn't over yet. By my count, Penguin must have at least 3 more of these caches in the city. That equals a lot of guns on the street. Huh. It's gonna be a long night, Bruce.
I'm used to it. Just keep tracking those refrigeration trucks.
And here I thought you might give me a real challenge.
Batman invincible or what?
Hope you're not busy, Bruce. I got a truck. It's right by the bank in Kingston.
I'll track it back to the cache. Prepare for strong resistance, Dick. Penguin won't want to lose any more of his weapons.
Penguin was the right thing. After tonight, when the dust settles, he's gonna come out on top. Just you wait.
Batman won't be able to move in this city without us knowing about it.
What the hell? Who's out there? Oh crap! Drive! Drive! It's Batman!
Oh god, it's Batman! He's tailing us! For it! Try to lose him! I'm trying! Put your foot down! He's gaining on us! I thought Penguin said he'd take care of the bat! Anyone see the bat? I can't see anything! I don't see him either. You think we lost him? I don't know. Keep looking. Boss, those things.
Good until you called. Why am I hearing your bloody voice?
It's Batman.
Ah, what now?
They found us.
Why are you so sodding useless?
Sorry, boss.
Oh, that's all right then. Apology accepted.
Really?
No, not really. He's already got 2 of my caches. If he gets number 3, your family jewels are coming on. Now lose them.
Looks clear. I think we lost him.
Thank God. Get a move on before he finds us again.
Taking us to the drop-off, right? Sure am. We might not get another chance. Told you I could shake him.
So much for the bat. You never had a chance.
It's like I said, the bat's lost his touch. We got nothing to worry about.
Alright, I was wanting to talk about all of the crap that we had to go through just to get to the Penguin back in Batman Arkham City. So let me think here. In Batman Arkham City, we ultimately had to chase him down through the remains of what used to be the Iceberg Lounge. We had to square off against numerous Penguin henchmen. We had to cross waters that happened to have a live shark infesting it. We ended up fighting Solomon Grundy. All of this along the way to the Penguin, who we still had to square off against. Yeah, in Arkham City, the Penguin was no slouch. He took a lot of effort. Oh yeah, and technically the Penguin is the first villain you even see in that game. You run into him first thing whenever you are entering the prison as Bruce Wayne. So yeah, even before you suit up, Penguin's already trying to kill you. The guy wasted no time in that game. Considering everything I just said, the Penguin definitely has a much smaller role in this game, but that's alright. It's a role that makes sense for him, and it's cool. This being the last game in the series, it would have really sucked for him not to be in it. And at least in these side missions, we do get the gimmick of being able to switch between Batman and Nightwing. I talked about this plenty whenever I was doing this side mission in the main story, but I will take every opportunity I can to play as someone other than Batman just because of how much I already have to play as Batman. So even if I don't really care for how that character plays, I am happy to switch it up just to kind of break the routine.
Man of my town should be stuck on guard duty. Why did I let him stick me out here?
Penguin has a stockpile of arms near the fish market in Drescher. Same drill as before, Dick.
You got it.
My town shouldn't be stuck on guard duty.
Get You got ammo?
Yeah,
Bobby?
I'm good.
How about you, Knuckles?
You hear that?
What?
Could have sworn.
The wind blowing through your ears.
Eat me.
Hey, pipe down, boys.
This part is probably not going to be interesting to anyone other than myself. Being completely honest, I forgot where to go here.
I need to find a way into the vault room. It'll be here somewhere.
So I ended up walking around this room a couple of times before I figured it out. Ended up taking down that wall in the process, and it just didn't click and I could not remember. So looking back on this, I really wanted to see how obvious the exit was. And so far, even in detective mode, I didn't really see it when watching this back, so I guess I kind of got how I overlooked it whenever I was playing this live. Still, it would have helped just to look up.
What are you doing here, man?
I'm guarding the merch.
I was being rhetorical.
You been sleeping with a dictionary or something?
Prime looting to be done out there.
It's all good though, it's definitely not the most stuck I've been, even in this game. I still didn't waste nearly as much time here as I did in the mall and the main storyline. That one I was also completely stuck, and I can't say that the solution was more obvious than this, but it still should have been pretty obvious. Yay! Time to play as Nightwing! And I may be making it sound like I really can't stand playing as Batman or something, but that's really not the case. Playing as Batman at this point in the game is really easy. It's going to be easier than any other character because you have every gadget imaginable at your disposal. You have been playing as him for so long, you have all the timing down, you know what he's capable of doing. That's cool. I've still done it way too much. So I don't mind it, there's nothing wrong with it. But I could always use a break, and Nightwing is going to be that break in this scenario. I'm still going to switch back and forth between him and Batman in these fights, but first chance I get, I am going to Nightwing. We're going to be hitting people with sticks and shocking them, and that's cool. I'm good with that. I don't need a cape. We're going to go with good old Dick Grayson, the Flying Grayson, the acrobat who lived. Tragic story, I know. Almost as tragic as how badly these people are being beaten. But we're the good guys, so it's okay. Concussions don't count when you're the good guy. Debilitating head trauma does not count when you are the good guy. Fractured skulls do not count when you are the good guy.
Come on, admit it, Bruce. You're having fun.
I won't be satisfied until I bring Penguin to justice.
You always were great at killing a party.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing, and that's because we're the good guys.
Call me crazy, but we could get to Penguin a lot quicker if we split up. You know, I could take one of these places on my own. Yeah, don't rush to agree, or anything. I can imagine Penguin's not too happy with us right now. Can only have a couple of these weapon caches left.
Keep looking. Let me know as soon as you find anything.
Of course. I wouldn't miss seeing the look on his face for the world.
Hey, Bruce. I've managed to track down one of Penguin's trucks. It's by the canal on Bleak Island.
Thanks, Nightwing. I'll approach on foot and shadow it to the weapons cache.
I don't care who it
looking for, as long as I get my cut.
Think the little man's good for it?
Finally, did you get those beers? What the? Oh God, get us out of here! It's the Bat!
Where's the Batman? He's coming for us!
What the hell are we gonna do now?
Keep going! We can lose him!
I'm going as fast as I can. What the hell is he doing? This is bad. Really freaking bad.
Is he still behind us?
How do I know? You're supposed to be the lookout.
I think he's gone. You think he's gone?
I'm driving here. Just keep looking.
Contact the boss. Ask him what do we do.
He ain't answering.
What now?
If he pulls us back to the guns, we're dead. I don't see him. We lost him. We actually lost him.
Dispatch to HQ before he comes back.
You got it. I knew he wouldn't catch us.
He never had a chance.
Penguin was right. The Bat's losing it.
Penguin's hiding his weapons inside Gotham's water filtration plant. Let's hit him hard, Nightwing.
Wouldn't have it any other way, Bruce.
I'm going to go ahead and fade to black here because there are a couple of things that happen off screen. Specifically, just a couple of things. One of those things is that I am getting swarmed by people on the streets everywhere I go. They all want to try and take me down, and it gets really annoying when I'm just trying to remember how exactly to get into this building. But they don't care. They are not in the mood to let me do what I want to do. Then there's the other thing. I completely forgot how to get into this building. And unlike at the last hideout when I briefly forgot how to get into the main room to fight everybody, here I completely forgot. And I was walking around buildings left and right trying to remember how to get in. I was climbing up fire escapes, I was going up to rooftops, none of it was ringing a bell. And then eventually, after I circled the building about 8 times and got swarmed by a bunch of rioting people a few more times, it clicked. I had a hunch I knew where to go. Another thing occurred to me as well. Rather than fighting all these people that are, following me around the building, I could have just called the Batmobile the entire time and just zapped them as I drove by. I've got to tell you, hindsight, it is an amazing thing. And with the wonderful gift of hindsight, I found out that the answer to getting into the building was not to go through the front, it was not to go onto the roof, it was to go below. That's right, we had to drive all the way around and go into the sewers. Of course, that is not where the guessing games ended for me. Once we were in the sewers, we ended up using the Batmobile to shoot some non-lethal rounds at some very heavily armed individuals, and then I continued to forget what to do. I ejected myself from the Batmobile, took a quick look around, and was kind of just trying to stumble my way into an answer. It's kind of funny. I have played this game a bunch of times. I had to replay it a bunch of times just to get some additional footage. And somehow throughout all of that, all the multiple playthroughs, having done these side missions before, I am still forgetting things. Like, I was genuinely confused and had no idea what to do throughout this part. Maybe I'm being a little too honest about that part, being a little too upfront. Perhaps I should start making a few excuses. There has to be a justifiable reason for why I don't remember what to do. In fact, I think I've got it. I am going to blame it all on Danny DeVito. I'm going to say that I was way too occupied thinking about Danny DeVito as the Penguin while I'm doing the Penguin mission in Batman Arkham Knight, and it just had me really distracted. I couldn't focus. Like, how could anyone remember what to do whenever Danny's on the mind?
think tonight's the night?
For sure. He ain't getting out of this alive. It's just too much, even for him.
Sure would be nice not to have that freak on our backs for a change.
And on that note, they gave Batman a bunch of different bat suits he could wear in this game. Like a bunch of alternate costumes. I don't care about any of that anymore. I want the Penguin to have an alternate costume. I want him to have a Danny DeVito skin we can unlock and then have him use throughout the game on a simple playthrough. That's what I want. Who cares if this game is like 10 years old at this point and no one else is playing it but me? Give me the Danny DeVito Penguin in this game, please. And while I am making ridiculous demands, why stop there? Yes, we will have our Danny DeVito Penguin in this game, but why would we just stop with one old villain? Let's get several. Let's go ahead and get the Jim Carrey Riddler in here, the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face, the Uma Thurman Poison Ivy. Who cares if the movies were really bad to terrible? I want it. We need to see it. We need to make this game ridiculous. And I am okay with some ridiculous. I'll take anything to liven up the game that I can get. After all, stuff like this tends to make playthroughs after so many times really enjoyable. And if you happen to pick up the game after like 10 years like I did, well hey, one more thing to kind of keep you interested. And those are very realistic positives that you can give a game like this. Even though I'm not actually trying to make any sort of a good point here, I just want all kinds of ridiculous nonsense.
Good news. I found Penguin. He's right where we want him.
Cocky little bastard. You've been taken from me all night, Batman. It's time I did a little taking of my own.
Bat, I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
Alfred, I need you to use Nightwing's tracker and isolate his location for me.
Master Grayson isn't in any danger, is he, sir?
Penguin has him.
Oh dear. Yeah, I've got a signal. They're holding him at a location in Otisburg. You must hurry, sir. We both know Master Grayson can be too reckless for his own good.
Hey, old Penguin was sure the bat was gonna show. How come? What's tied up downstairs and gets the crap beat out of it? Oh yeah, Nightwing. I wonder how he's holding up. Ah, the young one.
Penguin has Nightwing hostage in the Amertech building in Otisburg. Hang on, Dick. I'm coming for you.
He could take the boss on his own. What a punk! He put up a good fight.
Alright, time for me to be absolutely terrible at a Predator map. This one is probably the worst that I have done throughout my entire time recording this game, and yeah, it's pretty rough. I mean, even if I compare it to the Predator maps that I lost in the main story mode, you know, the Arkham Knight Predator maps when I got shot to death a couple of times, I would say even in those instances, I play worse here than I do in those scenarios against the Arkham Knight, and I live during this Predator map. My execution is just awful. So yeah, I live, but I'm not proud of it. It could have been a lot better. I don't know, my tactics here were just kind of really questionable at best. Speaking of questionable decision making, our good old buddy Nightwing has been captured. And I have to say, our allies in this game just really suck. It seems like everybody who tries to help us out gets kidnapped in this game. Barbara Gordon got kidnapped in the start. Poison Ivy, we had to save her at the beginning of the game too. Jim Gordon ends up getting kidnapped by Scarecrow in the end. Robin ends up getting kidnapped by Scarecrow. Nightwing here got kidnapped by Penguin. I mean, geez, we even had to watch the flashbacks when Jason got kidnapped by the Joker. And Catwoman. Catwoman got kidnapped by the Riddler. Like, seriously, every single person that helps us out in this game has been kidnapped. We are working with some of the worst heroes of all time, I'm telling you. Oh well, not to worry. Thanks to all the Batman plot armor in the world, we are going to save every single one of them, I think. Actually, on that note, does anyone die in this game that gets kidnapped? Poison Ivy eventually dies, but she wasn't kidnapped when she died, so I don't think that counts. So, okay. After some careful consideration, despite the fact that everyone who helps us ends up getting kidnapped in this game, they all have an amazing survival rate. So at least there's that. And while we are on the topic of astounding survival, somehow I am hanging on by the smallest sliver of health imaginable at the moment. Now, I mentioned that I play very terribly during this Predator map. When I was just going off of my memory alone, I recalled it being way, way worse than it actually has been. Turned out I was actually doing really well, all until the very end. When there's like 2 or 3 people left, I started trying to brute force my way through it, and I got shot a bunch of times. Like a bunch is kind of an understatement. I got lit up in every imaginable way with multiple different types of firearms. So yeah, that small slither of health is honestly kind of a mercy. I definitely deserve to die there. Perhaps I, as the person controlling Batman, am also getting some plot armor. But call it whatever you want. We're gonna live, and we're gonna move on to the next part and maybe have a shot at saving our friend Nightwing.
Nightwing, all us scumbags, and you can't do nothing about it. Yeah, I bet it's just eating you up, Mr. Hero.
Gonna need it later.
You ain't getting out of this, punk. You're gonna die in here.
There's nothing to beat Batman's friends.
Yeah, he won't recognize you when we're finished.
I'm sensing some hostility here. You guys got enough fiber in your diet?
You think you're a comedian?
You guys want me to act like I'm hurt?
Hey, he's up. The boss wants to finish this one off himself.
You hear that, Nightwing? We're gonna keep you alive for a little bit longer.
More stimulating conversation. Great.
Oh, let me hit him, please.
Hey, what did I just say?
I know. Boss wants him alive. Just his face. No.
Look at it this way.
Yeah, I guess.
I hope the boss lets me get a few more punches in.
What are you even doing here? You got no business being in this city.
Oh man, we were just talking about kidnapped allies. I just realized I did not even complete the list. There is a side mission we have not done yet where yet another ally is, well, he gets abducted as well in a way. That's just kind of crazy. Like, almost every single conflict in this game comes down to Batman's ally being in the hands of some enemy of his. The writers just got together one day and said to themselves, we need a theme to almost every single mission we have in this game. What do you want that theme to be? What if Batman's allies, friends, and family were all suddenly kidnapped by his enemies? Alright, cool. Sounds like a plan. So I guess we'll do that for 2, maybe 3 tops. You know, that should be a little bit reasonable under the circumstances. No. I'm thinking we do it for at least 80% of the missions that he has to do in this game. Don't you feel like that might be a little excessive or tiresome after a while? No. The more of his allies that get abducted, the better. That's what the people want, and that's what we are going to give them. Alright then. I guess we can do that. And so now you know that's how the conversation went, and that's how the development of these side missions and what happens to all of Batman's allies occurs.
What did you think you were doing coming here alone?
Oh, thank you for finding this place would be nice. You should be happy. We got all the caches. Okay, Penguin's finished.
We still need to find him.
I doubt he's stuck around. No guns, no goons. Don't think you'll be hearing from Penguin anymore tonight.
Well, ain't this cozy? You need to keep an eye on this one, Batman. He's a bit too careless for my liking. Come any closer, and you get to see the contents of his head.
Hey, Oz. You remember the Flying Graysons?
Flying who? What are you on about?
Flying Graysons. The greatest acrobats in the world.
Shut up, you No! Stop! Ah! Don't you... Ah! I swear to God, you better kill me, Batman. Otherwise, I'm gonna kill you! I'm gonna...
You know, I was just going to suggest you do that. So, here's the part where you tell me off.
I'm proud of you, Dick.
Are you feeling okay?
This is the end. This is the last time we meet.
Don't talk like that. All right, this won't stop you. Nothing stops you.
Keep Bloodhaven safe. Promise me.
It's okay, Bruce. I get it. You just don't want me hanging around, stealing the limelight.
Dick.
I won't let you down.
I know. You could sell them for scrap. If you ever get out.
Oh, you smug bastard. I might have known it was Wayne under that mask. What's the matter? Bankrupting my family's business wasn't enough. You had to go and kick 10 tons of crap out of people too.
Your family was corrupt, Cobblepot.
Yeah, and yours are dead. Oh, what's the matter? Touched in dirt. This Cape Crusader lark doesn't really work when everyone knows who you are, does it?
Worked fine catching you.
Face it, after tonight, Batman's dead in the water. You better find a new costume, old boy. What'll be next? Oh, I know. How about a squirrel?
You'll see. Move, Cobblepot.
Keep your cape on, I'm coming.
Hey, boss, you're here! We're all back together!
Hey, it hasn't been the same without you. See that, Batman? That's loyalty.
You must be proud.
I could have told Scarecrow a long time ago that getting you involved in all this was a big mistake.
Watch your mouth, Oswald. We're on the same side of the bars now.
And there it is, the conclusion of Gunrunner. Out of all the side missions that we have done so far, this one's probably one of the better ones. It's not as one-dimensional as the Gotham on Fire side missions were with Firefly, although it is kind of close. At least at the very end, the stakes are raised a little bit with Nightwing being kidnapped, you having to do a Predator map instead of having just to jump into the building and fight a bunch of people like you had the entire time prior to then. They at least mixed it up a little bit at the end and even add the nice touch of the Penguin showing up and taking him hostage at the last moment. So yeah, I did a few things different, and I didn't mind it. It's also nowhere near as long as the side mission Line of Duty, which is appreciated. It does not overstay its welcome with the length of the side mission. For as short as it is, this side mission isn't as simplistic as the Creature of the Night side mission, where you just fly into Man-Bat every single time you run into him. It was never going to be possible for them to top what happened in the last game with Penguin, so even though it's a smaller role this time around, I don't mind it. I kind of already spoke to that earlier. And this is probably one of the better side missions in this game. It varies it up just enough, and it's fun. And that is Gunrunner, and we have put away the Penguin. To anyone watching, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you continue to enjoy them as I put them out. For me, I am done. I'm going to call it. Take care, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.